Hi, welcome to Understanding Conscious Cryptids with me, Khat Hansen, your host. Hi everyone, it's me, Khat. Welcome to Understanding Conscious Cryptids. Yeah, so today we have the camera. It's Saturday, and you actually get to see me for a change. Oh boy! So everybody have a conniption over that. I'm sure I'll get a lot of hate mail. Anyway, today's lesson is going to be about, I wanted to talk a little bit about the beings that live inside the earth and the ones that are coming up now more and more as time progresses. We're going to be seeing a lot more of them. I get a lot of emails asking about them. And inside the earth are a number of species. Okay, and I'm not going to sound like a loon to some people, but I think to others who are not familiar with Native American history, I'm going to sound like a lunatic. But I'm just going to tell the truth and put it out there for everybody. Okay? And there are correlating facts that you can look up for yourselves inside the book known as the Bible. Also other books, you know, the Quran, Hebrew books. I mean, there's just so many to talk about that talk about the other beings that live inside this earth and the dimensions alongside this earth. And when I say alongside this earth, I want everyone to understand that even though the dimensions are beside us, they are almost like walking through a room with a door to a door to a door to a door. Once you access one, you have the capabilities of accessing several others. Okay, so that being said, I'm going to talk about the legends, the history of my people, the Chata. And the Chata were, our creation story says that we came up from underground. We came up from living inside this earth. Okay, so we came up through several different levels of, I guess you could call it, hollowness inside this earth. Okay, so we were very familiar with the other beings who live inside of this earth. Okay, the being first and foremost were the Champway. The Champway are the ones that I've spoken of before, that have the red eyes. They look like a Bigfoot. They smell like blood, and they're just dirty, very predatory. Sasquatch, Steoma. These guys we learned early on to avoid and to stay away from them. They were not present in our level of dwellings where we came from inside the earth. So we weren't familiar with them. Once we started to access the levels and to come up, that was when we started bumping into them. Now, the other beings that we ran into were the snake people, reptilians, reptoids, whatever you want to call them. There's several different types, okay, and I know it gets kind of confusing because people always say, well, my God, the earth must really be crammed full in there of these beings. You know, if it's got to be a tight fit. Not really. I mean, think of a skyscraper with different levels and an elevator or a staircase that will let you off at each level. Okay, once you get to that, then you realize that, hey, all things are possible. Follow that thought through, and then you realize that the earth is not solid per se. It is honeycombed with lava tubes, air pockets, gas pockets. There's just different levels, and some of those levels even actually contain water, you know, for small oceans. Okay, so our earth is already big enough to house all of us. Then you have what's inside, and those beings inside the earth either live there harmoniously or they live by themselves, away from the others that they do not get along with. And they also create wars. They travel on to themselves. So it's just kind of what we go through here on the top, they go through down there. So I want everyone to understand that, because it makes it a lot easier when we're teaching the lessons and understanding that these beings do these things and why they do them. The other instance that I want to talk about are, there are people that live here. I'm sorry, my hair is driving me nuts. It's wet. There are people who live on the inside of this planet, inside of mountains that have been mined out by their selves, their species. They did this. And they did this so that they could live inside the hills, the mountains, and they did it so that they could be incognito, hidden. They're not around us. So by doing this, they watch us and interact with us on their programs. They have their own agendas. They do whatever they want and how they want. Now, these people, these beings that live inside these hollowed out mountains around us may, let me clarify that, may have the mountains around us, are not from here. Okay, and people always come to me and they say, well, what about space aliens? Space aliens exist, but not in the way that people think they exist. Okay, they are beings from different dimensions, different realities that exist alongside of us, and they choose to interact with us or not. Remember, I've told you that this planet is a learning planet. So it teaches. It's here to teach. And in teaching, there's a lot that they have to do. Some come here. I had a young man tell me that he thinks of it as a movie Predator. They come here to learn how to do the things that they need to do for their own planets and how to survive. And it's kind of like that. They choose to come here, and sometimes they get help, but most of the time, no. They do come in pairs and in groups. So the ones that are living here now inside of the mountains, inside the hollowed out mountains, have been here a long time. And I want everyone to understand that when I say a long time, I mean a long time, like hundreds of thousands of years. Okay, and they choose whether they want to have interaction with us humans, and who they are going to interact with. So that being said, when someone meets up with them, 9 times out of 10, it goes one of two ways. Either A, they're told everything and let to remember, or B, they're told nothing and completely wiped. So these beings that have been here, like I said, have been here for a long, long time. And in doing this, it's hard for me because I feel like I'm ratting them out, but I'm not, because the time for teaching is now, and I have to do what I've been told to do. So these guys have lived here, like I said, for hundreds of thousands of years. They have a guarded interest in us humans, in that they don't want us destroying the planet, but at the same time, they're not going to help us fix it either. So I always feel like they're just leaving us out there to do whatever we want to do, and kind of like a screw you. And I know that sounds so bad, and I'm so sorry, but that's how I feel. I mean, having dealt with these people, they are very snobby. They have their own ships that come in and out of this environment. They leave the crop circle messages a lot of times, the ones with the pictures and just strange little pictures, that you see, like the one with the alien and all kinds of things. They leave little messages, and some of them I feel like they do just to confuse humanity, and so that we won't get too close to understanding where they're at. But then there are others that already do understand where they're at. And that's not through any part of their choosing, that's through the beings choosing. They choose who they're going to interact with, just like the Staya Maj. Everything here has free will, and that's another issue. People don't like to think that other beings have free will. They think that only humans have free will. That's not true. They know if they're doing right or wrong, and if they choose to do it, then they do it. But these guys that have lived here for so long, they have a name. The Native Americans call them Hamuses. Hamuses started out, I think, and what I'm understanding from them is that this place was a learning place for them, and it turned into more like an experiment for them. They jumped to the head of the class and started watching, and my children just call them the watchers, and I know that's not a proper term for them, but that's how they act. They receive messages from their own people from other dimensions, leave markers, interactions, etc. But at the same time, they really don't choose to interact with humans unless they've got something to say. And then I find that the messages that they give humans to be very deceptive. On one hand, some are nice, and on the other hand, they're liars. So which message are you going to believe? My interactions with them, when I've dealt with them, has been to the point where I believe the old adage, everything you tell me is a lie. So if you're telling me the truth, you're telling me a lot, right? That's the way I approach them. When they tell me they have something they want to tell me or share with me, it's definitely taken with an entire salt shaker. I don't take it with just a grain of salt. No. I have to sift and sort through what their meanings are and what they're up to. These guys have been here, like I said, hundreds of thousands of years. So you're going to see sculptings, I guess would be the word for it, forms of hieroglyphs, carvings, etc. from these guys. But not all of them. That's where it gets so confusing. As an archaeologist, there again, I've had to learn to sort through what I'm finding, because you can't attribute it all to humanity, because we share this planet with so many beings. The other ones that are really on my mind right now are the reptilians, the snake people. These guys, I really don't like scaring people, but it's the truth. These guys eat people. There's no way to not say it. They do. And the Native American tribes have had to do battle with them for the longest time. And in so doing battle with them, we've learned that they stay underground, we stay up above ground. And when they show up above ground, it's dangerous. It means they're hunting. And when I see them above ground, I know that it's not a peaceful meeting. And that's my personal belief, reaction. interaction with these beings, because I've had a number of people contact me and tell me, oh, the reptilians are my friend. Okay, that's good. But just because you get along with them doesn't mean that they're not going to eat me. So I refuse to have interaction with them unless it's, boy, unless it's really, 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 really necessary. They're evil, and they look at us like foodstuffs. They are two groups of them that live underground. One is the group that was here and evolved here. You know, the Earth is 4.5 billion years old. That's a long, long time. Okay, races have come and gone. These guys evolved here. They kind of, sort of, maybe look humanoid-ish in that they have 2 arms, 2 legs. And there it stops. Okay, we're talking tall, usually right around the 400-pound mark. Pretty well muscled, but not fat and not bulky muscle. Okay, these are not them. These guys look more like a gecko would look. Their limbs are very elongated. They have lived there for a long time. They evolved here. They were on the surface until we had the first ice age, you know, the massive one. And it changed everything on this planet for these guys. They tried to stay above ground. They could not because of all the ash and everything that was in the air. It started chasing them underground to where the internal heat was. You know, the Earth stays a constant degree. So it was a lot easier for these guys to be there inside. And that's where they evolved. So when you run into these guys, they don't have very good eyesight above ground because their world underground is dimly lit. Okay? They don't need it to be bright. And they are not blind, by the way. They're not. It's just that thing about reptiles and how they are able to crawl through burrows and holes, etc., to seek out their prey. That's how these guys are. Okay, they've learned to adapt very well to the amount of light that they get inside the Earth. Now, the other ones, the other reptilians that are here, come from a different dimension, and they are, some people call them alpha draconians. Okay, I think that's a big made-up name on their part, trying to portray power over humans. So I pretty much just let them do and say what they're, to me, they remind me of a macho weightlifter. Okay, these guys usually are about 9 feet tall, pretty big. They are really overly muscled. Okay, now what I'm going to say is probably going to get me in a big world of doo-doo here, but I'm going to say it. These guys are the ones that were put here from a different dimension. They stumbled onto the Earth and they were locked here. And in being locked here, these guys were used to take care of the Garden of Eden. These are the guys that protected the Garden of Eden when it was here on Earth. Yeah, I know. I'm waiting for it. I know I'm going to get it for saying this, but that's the truth. I can only say what I know. Okay? And this is what I know. Um, the serpent was like a man. It walked on two legs, and it was huge. And when Adam and Eve were kicked out of the garden by this being, it was his skin that they used to make clothing out of. I know that was strange. And I'm not sure what to say about that. There again, it's the truth as I know it and as I was told. And I have to go by what I was told by my elders. I think I'm having a little bit of problems with this camera lagging. I'm not sure how to fix that, so everybody bear with me, okay? Hopefully we can get it fixed. Anywho, these are the guys that you're going to find down below. And I know the Alpha Draconians want to say that they're conquerors of this, that, and every other universe out there, and that they came here to conquer this world as well, but not really. I don't believe them at all, because I found that nothing they've said to me has been the truth. So when I find them above ground, I know that they are up to no good. I know that they are here to consume humans. That means actively hunt, kill, eat, steal. They'll do whatever they can. And if any of you have ever followed the stuff that I've written, I talk about how many children and adults go missing. You know, I spoke about that a few years back. And the reason that I shared that information was because I feel like as the veils thin and we overlap, these guys are going to be coming through more and more. And I've sat back and watched, and that's exactly what they've been doing, coming through more and more. It's like reserves. They just keep bringing them and bringing them and bringing them and having interactions with people. And I find it horrible in that the interactions that they're having with people are causing death, maiming, severe injury. You know, it's something that's not really talked about in UFO circles and in research circles at all, is the fact that these guys do this, and that there are people out there that have been hurt and killed by these things. You know, and if you ever talk to people that are around when this occurs, they will tell you straight up that it's the people from down below that did this. It's the reptilians. You know, so I want people to understand that these guys are not friendly. Okay, I have people sending me emails telling me that they are friends with them and that they don't want me bad-mouthing them. Blah, blah, blah. Sorry, I'm going to say what I'm going to say. And that is, they're evil. Okay, they do what they want to do. They say what they want to say. They hurt who they want to hurt. There's no stopping them. Okay. Next, we're going to talk about other things, another group of people that live inside the earth, and those are Fae. Contrary to popular belief, fairies are people. They're just another race of people that existed here on the earth for a number of years until they decided to go inside the earth. And they went inside the earth because human beings drove them there. Human beings are really good at what we do. and that is destroying things. You know, we really like to hunt things to the brink of extinction and beyond. You know, that's just what we do. Um, that being said, people need to understand that you're going to bump into these guys, you know, because they have access to the earth inside and out. Okay? Another race of beings that lives inside the earth are the Deros. Um, these are machines. These are bad robots. And I actually don't even want to call them machines. I call them biological entities. Okay, these guys are like cyborgs. Okay, they found a way to create themselves with a type of body, and then they added machinery to that, and they've just been doing it for hundreds of thousands of years. Okay, they're evil, they're decrepit, they're twisted, sick, warped, wicked, anything you want to say, that's what they are. They do not like humans. Okay, so they love to do anything they can to cause strife. Do they interact with the Fae? Certain evil Fae they do. Yeah. So there again, we don't want to have anything to do with them. I have people that I tell all the time, be sure of what you're interacting with. Okay, be sure. One good way of being sure is to tell them, you know, that you believe in a higher power or a supreme being and that you are protected, and to hold your hand out to touch them. Evil things will let you touch them. That's a real simple story right there. Beginning and end. Things that are evil are not going to let you reach out and touch them, especially if you announce your belief in Jesus Christ, Jehovah, Yahweh, Yeshua, Allah, Muhammad. I don't care. These are all aspects of the one true God. And if you reach out and touch one of these guys, he's going to disappear in a cloud of smoke. Guarantee you. And that's just him manifesting himself in front of you. Okay, you're not going to kill him by touching him. You're going to send him back down to where he's supposed to be, which is down inside the earth. I know this is sounding really crazy, but I have to say what I have to say, and then I'll be able to move on. The other part of all of this is the fact that I want people to understand that there's not just one type of Bigfoot, and there's not just one type of dogman. There are a few. Okay? Now, the other side of this lesson is going to be what I was speaking on in the last lesson, which was the giants. The giants are here. Some of them are asleep. Some of them aren't. They've been inside the earth, and they're coming through back up to the earth. Okay? These guys are big. There again, they don't particularly like humans. Don't like humans because we chase them. We seem to do that a lot, I know. We chase, we attack, and we drive them almost to the point of extinction. So they go inside the earth. Okay? By now everybody's thinking, oh my God, Kat, I can't believe this. You've crowded the earth so much that it looks like it's going to blow up. Well, maybe, but what I'm telling you is that to understand what's inside this earth, you have to understand how big this earth is. Okay, you can go miles and miles and miles down. And that's just in one dimension. Our earth exists in other dimensions. Okay, so there again, it's filled up from that side as well. So when I'm talking about Bigfoot stema coming up from inside the earth, they're usually within about a mile down. I want to say even less than that, like a quarter mile. These guys are very close to the surface. They choose to sleep in the caves and underground tunnels that they dig for safety reasons and for the fact that it affords them the luxury of not having to post as many sentries as they would have to. It gives them the luxury of taking care of their kids down below, where they're safe. Kind of like a safe neighborhood. Anyway, the other part of all this, too, is the fact that people come up from down below as well. And these people are not people that we have great knowledge of. Even I don't have great knowledge of them. I've run into maybe one or two of them. And to me, they are a puzzle. You know, they've been friendly to me when I've run into them, but they're not great on sharing. And when I've gone back to see them, sometimes they give me gifts, sometimes they don't. Sometimes I take gifts, but I'm not going to get information from them. And I can't share that information with you unless I have it. So I always want you to know that if I don't know something about something or someone, I'm not going to say I do. Okay? The two that I have interacted with resemble humanoids to the extent that they're very tall, blonde-haired, almost like an albino. They have the glowing eyes, which are indicative of being underground because they need that. But their canines, their teeth, I'm not sure if they file them or if they grow that way. If that is how their teeth grow. But they are very sharp, like a predator's teeth the whole way across. They remind me of a piranha fish. So that tells me right then and there that they eat meat. So I'm a little on my guard when I'm dealing with them. But these are the people that you're going to run into. The other people that you're going to run into just share our forests and share our world outside with us. Some of these are the blue people that I've spoken of. These guys, the moon eyes, were on the earth, the surface of the earth before humans, before we got up here. And I have a really good picture that I'm going to put in here, and it's courtesy of Billy Evans. I love Billy, and he gave me this picture a long time ago because I said, oh my God, you caught one of them. They're so hard to capture. These guys, the moon eyes, take care of everything in the forest. They take care of the trees, the dirt, the bugs, the rocks. I mean, they almost like terraform. They go in and they landscape everything and make it a certain way. And you're like, oh my heck! And you're just looking at it, and you can see their fingers. When you really know what you're looking for, you start noticing, I think they did that, and every now and then you'll catch one of them in the area, and you'll realize, I just saw moon eyes. They're tiny, they're very blue, they've got a big head, big eyes, and no, it's not a gray alien I'm talking about. These guys are short, they're adorable. I'm sorry, but they are. And I know that's rude to say about a race of people, but they are really cute. I always told my daughter that I thought they should make a doll out of them, because I think little kids, little girls especially, would love these things. Very friendly, very shy to others that they don't know. So I always say, if you think you're interacting with one of them, take them things that they don't have below. Take them a mirror, a little hand mirror. Take them cups, you know, things that are made like china, glass cups. They don't make glass. So take them that. Take them food that does not have chemicals, you know, artificial colors, things like that. A container of fresh ground peanut butter. Oh my heck. It'll be gone in 2 seconds. It's gone. You know, they'll snatch it and it's gone. They don't have that capability down there. Okay. Anything that we grow above ground up here, apples, tomatoes, trying to think. There's just so much, walnuts, things like that. Just take them things, foodstuffs that they don't get underground. Because think about that. Roots, they do get. You know, potatoes, carrots, rutabagas, things like that, they get. But anything that's above ground, corn is a big one. Take them that they will love you. They're very easy to make friends with, but you're not going to find them out in your garden. Where you're going to find them is out in the woods. And I'm talking about woods where not everybody goes, you know, every single day to go hike. Oh, let's go hike over here. No, you're not going to find that. You're going to find them in their area where they're supposed to be. And you'll notice that it just looks like somebody landscaped the woods. And this is them. Okay? So, for this first video on this, I think I did enough time. Enough so that everybody can ask questions. And send me questions, please. Just like class. And I will answer them to the best of my ability. And for this first lesson, I want to say thank you for watching. And if you like this video, let me know, and I'll make more. If you prefer the other way without seeing me, then let me know, and we'll continue doing lessons that way. I'm just not sure which way to go right now because I get so many requests from people who say, I want to know what you look like, and others say, I don't need to see you, you know, whatever. And then I'm just like, okay, well, I don't know anymore. Because it seems like when I make just the videos talking, I get slammed with requests to come online to let people see me. I hide. Okay, just so everybody knows. I have a lot of scars on the face, as you can see. But if you're willing to bear with me on them, I'm willing to teach. So, that being said, thank you. Please visit my Patreon page. I would also like to thank my Patreon patrons for their wonderful support. I'm going to make a list of them down in the description down here of my video. The next video that I'm going to talk about is going to have them in it, so that way they can know that I really do appreciate their support. And that being said, if you like my channel, please like it and hit the subscribe, and I would really appreciate that. In the meantime, have an excellent week. Thank you.